Now on CoastTV News.
Protecting pedestrians, the new safety measures now in place on King Charles Avenue.
Lower taxes, more safety. Ocean City's new budget looks to do more with less.
Bethany Bike Boost, new plans to enhance bike and pedestrian routes from Bethany Beach to Indian River Inlet.
Celebrating new beginnings.
I just felt like everything I put in was noticed and recognized.
Witness the remarkable journeys of graduates overcoming high hurdles to achieve success in culinary and logistic fields.
This is CoastTV News at 6.
Adding crosswalks and extending sidewalk bump outs on King Charles Avenue. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 6. We begin tonight with new safety projects in Rehoboth Beach.
Throughout the past couple of months, an engineering firm called the Rossi Group has been coming up with ways to increase pedestrian safety and calm traffic down in Rehoboth Beach. Right now, the group is testing out a new project on King Charles Avenue, and that includes new crosswalks also on Stokely Street and those bump outs on Newcastle. Joining us live there in Rehoboth Beach is CoastTV News reporter Elisa Weber. Elisa, you spoke with people who say cars drive way too fast throughout the neighborhood.
Maddie and Charlie, I spoke with one homeowner here who says that during the summertime, this street is crowded with beachgoers and cars trying to find parking. The Rossi Group says that these projects were recommendations from that traffic and parking study. Peter Madigan lives right off of King Charles Avenue. Madigan says drivers often forget this is a residential neighborhood.
So a lot of people moving fast. They forget how fast they're going. It's 25 miles an hour, but people get going 40. So it's a problem.
And the Rossi Group is testing out a few new projects to stop this problem. On Stokely Street, 2 new crosswalks have been added. The Rossi Group is looking to see if more crosswalks prevent jaywalking and cause cars to slow down. Next, temporary sidewalk bump outs were added on Newcastle Street to encourage cars to turn slower. This also extends the sidewalk. Anne Marie Towson, the senior project manager for the Rossi Group, says,
a lot of people walk, a lot of people use cars, and we're trying to make sure that there are safe opportunities for people to get places on foot to maybe alleviate some of the traffic. So it is all part of safety management and traffic management and trying to provide options for people to get to where they want to go without using a car.
The Rossi Group is also testing out a median barrier to give people crossing more protection in the crosswalk. Efforts to make the nation's summer capital less congested and safer for everyone. Throughout the summertime, the Rossi Group will be testing these projects, and they want to hear from the community. A survey can be found on reachoutrehoboth.com for you to share your input. In Rehoboth Beach, I'm Elisa Weber, Coast TV News.
If you want to fill out that King Charles Pilot Program survey, you can find the link to the survey under Elisa's article. The purpose is to evaluate the effectiveness of these temporary projects and help city officials determine whether these or something else should fix traffic and how to go from there, or really anywhere else in the city limits.
The Lewis Open Space Subcommittee is going to meet tomorrow at 2 p.m. to define the term open space. We've talked about this for a little while now. Right now, open space encompasses everything from trees to trails, even boat slips. The city wants to make the definition clearer for people to understand. Along with discussing the definition, the subcommittee will go over the requirements and the use of open space. The goal is to make these open spaces centrally located and accessible to the public.
Maintenance work is coming to one of Lewis's most important roadways. The city says crews will be working at the Savannah Road drawbridge. That will start Tuesday, May 14th. The bridge will open up at 10 a.m. as needed.
More drawbridge maintenance has been scheduled, this time in Rehoboth Beach. DelDOT says crews are going to work on the maintenance at the Rehoboth Avenue drawbridge tomorrow. The work begins around 10 a.m.
Longtime plans to fix the bridge in Fenwick Island are moving forward. The focus will be on the bridge replacement on Lighthouse Road there in Fenwick. Attendees can view a presentation at 5 and participate in what's called an open forum to discuss the project. That's June 10th at the Roxana Volunteer Fire Company from 4 to 7.
And even more long-term plans can be found at the 5 Points intersection in Lewis. The focus of this open house is on the 5 Points transportation study. DelDOT says people attending the workshop will receive insight into the results of the 2023 study and the upcoming project schedules. A staff will also be available to discuss the study and answer questions. That event taking place on June 11th at Cape Henlopen High School cafeteria.
Del Dot is currently hosting a public workshop on Route 1 safety improvements. The session is addressing areas near the Indian River Inlet Bridge. Last October, a 71-year-old man died there while biking. The workshop is part of the North Bethany Bicycle and Pedestrian Corridor Study that will explore new safety measures and assess existing ones. The event takes place at the South Coastal Library until 7 tonight. We'll have more on this story tonight at 11.
And this brings us right into our Coast TV poll. We want to know what should be the focus for Route 1?
Let's take a look at the results from last hour. A lot of folks were saying safety, and they are still doing that right now. 68%, though 27%, that's gone up a tick, say alternate routes.
And very few people seem to want easier business access, but this might change throughout the evening. You can be a part of the vote. Go to CoastTV.com or use the Coast TV mobile app. And now let's take a live look outside into Ocean City. It looks gorgeous out there. But as we turn things over to our First Alert Chief Meteorologist, Paul Williams. Paul, I know that there's some concern as we look towards tomorrow.
Tomorrow is a big concern because we have a First Alert day. Now, tomorrow is kind of quirky because we usually say, okay, an inch of rain, 40-mile-per-hour winds, and that's it. In this case, we finessed it because watching out for very strong storms. They're going to have a very short shelf life, but could be very dangerous when they form, depending on, I know it's a lot of ifs, depending on how much sunshine is in between the breaks of rain. That's it in a summary, and I'll go over it again later in the newscast as well. But our Bay Health camera in Milford from 87 down to 74 by 10 o'clock. Our severe weather threat is at a level 2 and leaning a little more towards 3, but it's iffy, as I said before. A lot of variables have to go into this, but everybody on the Delmarva Peninsula is susceptible to this possible stormy weather. Now, we do have coastal flood advisories connected to the high tides for not only Sussex, but also Dorchester, Somerset, and Wacomico, although we're not seeing any rain yet. It is indeed on the way. Now, we'll talk more and in detail about the possibility of those storms and why we have a First Alert Day on Thursday. But for right now, back to you, Charlie.
Paul, and since it's a nice day, this is a good story. Today at the Rehoboth Beach Museum, the iconic Dolly sign began its transformation. A little fresh coat of vibrant orange and new LED lighting to complement the Rehoboth Avenue's street lamps. Funded by a former lifeguard's family foundation, the updated sign is going to light up from sunset until 10 p.m. every night. And the well-loved Royal Treat sign that was in the old ice cream and breakfast shop that closed in 2022, that's also being installed, but it's inside the museum this week.
If you're a Millsboro voter, listen to this. Candidates for the town's election must file by May 15th at 4:30. Absentee voting begins May 20th at Town Hall. That runs weekdays from 8 to 4:30 p.m. leading up to Election Day. That's happening on June 8th. And remember, absentee applications are due by 7 p.m. the day before Election Day.
Where and how to spend the money. Ocean City taking a deep dive into their proposed 2025 operating budget. Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zappé shows us what to expect come next year.
With prices continuing to rise around the U.S., locals in Ocean City can only hope their taxes don't follow that trend.
The cost of living down here is so high. Everything is as elevated from gas to restaurants.
The Ocean City Council had their first reading of the proposed 2025 operating budget this past Monday. Some capital projects that are added to the proposed budget include street paving, capital maintenance, and boardwalk redecking. One notable change is decreasing the tax rate in Ocean City by 1 cent. But there's a catch. Every town employee walking through these doors might be seeing an increase in their paycheck come next year. But these aren't the only doors that would be receiving a raise. A 3% increase for all town employees is included into the budget for the cost of living adjustment. The Ocean City Police and Fire Department would also be receiving a cost of living adjustment similar to town employees. But where will all this extra money be coming from? Coast TV had an exclusive interview with Ocean City Mayor Rick Meehan, who told us how they'll be paying for the cost of living adjustment.
It comes from the general fund, and of course the general fund budget is subsidized by property tax, percentage of room tax, and other fees that are collected over the course of the year.
And while Ivana Weekly hopes payments for her don't go any higher, she understands why an increase for town workers are needed.
I'm absolutely for the increase because it helps with, if a lot of people are hiring, they want to get good people in, and that's what's going to do it.
With the Ocean City Council doing their first reading this week, the proposed 2025 budget for Ocean City is still being under review. I'm Kevin Zappe in Ocean City, Coast TV News.
And we have a lot more news to get to this evening.
We do. Endangered right whales spotted again off Ocean City. Details on a new slow zone to make sure that they're safe.
Even though we have a first alert day on the way, we also have some elevated allergens, trees as well as grasses on the high side, and weeds start to creep up a little bit more, but we will focus on the stormy weather for tomorrow, Maddie.
Bank of Delaware celebrates success stories. See how Delaware's trade programs are launching careers in food service and logistics. We have that story in just 60 seconds.
Social Security and Medicare aren't just handed to us.
We've earned them. Hour by hour. Day by day.
Paycheck by paycheck.
They aren't plans. They're a promise.
Made to every American.
Every American.
And we're not going to let anyone
break it.
Break it.
Break it.
Neither will I.
And you can consider that a promise too. David Trone will stand up to Republicans looking to strip the safety net seniors depend on. And there's no backing down.
I'm David Trone, and I approve this message.
Make no mistake, America is being invaded. Biden's open border is flooding our cities with violent criminals and deadly drugs. Democrats put American families last, kicking our kids out of school to house illegals. The invasion must end. I'm Robin Ficker, and I approve this message. I'm running for Senate to secure the border. I'll stand with Trump, finish the wall, and deport criminal illegals to save our country.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
There are a lot of things that can knock somebody off their path in life, and sometimes it's hard to get back on the right track.
But a program that's run out of the Food Bank of Delaware is helping train people who are trying to do exactly that. And Charlie, you, along with some help from our photojournalist Ted Carrero, covered the story today.
We did, Maddie, and we focused on one woman from right here along the coast. A big round of applause for a small group of hard-working graduates. For Kiri Villela, it's emotional.
That's how I feel accomplished. That I didn't give up on myself, and that, I didn't let anything take me away from what I was supposed to be focused on. So
Villela, who is from Rehoboth Beach, is one of 6 people who graduated Wednesday from the Culinary and Warehousing Logistics Training Program, which operates out of the Delaware Food Bank in Milford.
I just felt like everything I put in was noticed and recognized.
Everyone in this program has faced some kind of challenge: substance abuse, workplace injuries. For Villela, she's raising 2 children, 4 and 7, both with autism, but that didn't slow her down.
No matter how hard it got, no matter, it just was the right thing for me to do, being here and chasing my dreams. So
Villela actually got a little help in the form of a scholarship through the Chef Joey Schilling Memorial Foundation. Schilling was just 30 years old when he unexpectedly died in September of 2022 due to heart-related complications from a stem cell transplant. His father, John Schilling, now runs a foundation in his honor, a touching tribute that's making a real difference.
Oh, I think it makes them feel like they can now go out in the world and see that there are people supporting them, like our foundation.
For Villela, all that support paid off in the form of a job offer with Chesapeake in Maine. And for anybody else looking to follow in her footsteps, she offers this advice.
You got to embrace you and really push yourself, because if you're looking for validation from somebody else to give you that push, that motivation, it may not come at the time when you need it the most.
Betting on yourself, working hard, and even getting a helping hand where needed, it's a recipe for success that benefits the whole community. And here's an interesting note about that scholarship won by Villela. All the students in the program actually go free of charge, but the Chef Joey Schilling Memorial Foundation awards the scholarship to the outstanding student of the group. She was that student. The money actually goes to the food bank, and it helps them with the capacity for more students in the future.
Well, if your future includes some golfing for tomorrow, you need to go with plan B. Because listen, I'm going to just flat out tell you, forget it. Because we're looking for scattered thunderstorms, and tomorrow's a first alert day, so don't go out there with a metal putter where it's all flat, where the lightning could hit you first. More on your forecast.
Stanley Steamer is proud to be the leader in deep cleaning, cleaning over 1 million homes and businesses across America every year, using powerful equipment custom built by us. We'll remove the buildup of dirt, dust, allergens, grime, and contaminants seen and unseen from your home and business. America's professional deep cleaner for over 75 years. It's not clean until it's Stanley Steamer Clean.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
The internet's not what it used to be. With MediaCom, you'll be living and working with new technology.
Welcome to the most unreal reality.
MediaCom's supercharged platform will power a new era of business, speed the creation of new technologies, redefine the rules, and revolutionize everyday living. The biggest thing to happen to the internet?
Since the invention of the internet.
It's happening. Get ready. Anything is possible.
The day of the bridge collapse, my phone just started ringing. The ship struck the bridge. The Dolly was the last ship I was on. It was a punch in the gut. Losing lives is a tragedy, but losing our livelihoods was a disaster. It was a direct hit to longshoremen because if we don't have vessels, we do not have work. Your pages stop overnight. We're in trouble. I saw David Trone on the news.
We got to bring these dollars home.
Yes.
And we got to make sure that union labor builds this bridge. We got to keep thinking about those that have lost wages.
That's right.
Longshoremen are small businessmen. They still got mortgages to meet, food to put on the table. So we need an effort not to let that slip through the cracks.
1000%. To have an advocate speaking loud and speaking proud is David Trone for me.
I'm David Trone, and I approve this message.
Storm season is here. Be prepared and follow these tips from Delaware Electric Cooperative. Make sure you and your family have a safe place to go in the event of a tornado or severe storm. Have an emergency kit stocked with enough food, water, and essentials for at least 3 days. And don't forget a flashlight, batteries, and weather radio. Finally, download the DEC Connect app on your mobile device to quickly report an outage. Weather can be unpredictable, but you can be prepared. Make sure you're ready when storms strike.
Download the free CoastTV First Alert weather app today.
I want to get into the complications of tomorrow's First Alert Day because this is a bit of a finesse forecast. But before I start, I want to remind you, in the corner here, we have our QR code back up for right now. Go ahead and scan it so you can get the updated version of our weather app. You will need it tomorrow because these storms that are coming through are going to be tracked on this app. So I'm going to leave it up for you, okay? I don't put it up all the time anymore, but I'm going to leave it up for you this time so that you can scan it while we're going through this forecast because this is a really fun-ass kind of a thing. So our dry tech camera showing it's quiet, temperatures in the 80s, temperatures well above the norm for this time of the year, and we have a lot of thermodynamic or heat energy to spawn strong storms. We're going to drop to 72. Now, that being the case, we have coastal flood advisories for just about the entire peninsula, including not only Sussex, but Dorchester, Somerset, Wacomico, till Thursday morning because it's connected to the high tides. Not because of the rain we're expecting, because the amount of rain is not the problem. It's the intensity of the storms. That's the concern. We have a trough that's now just glazing through at this point, not causing much of a ruckus, just a few clouds. Cold front to our northwest, but we have a lot of moisture that's coming right along the coast, and that combination with this cold front, that's what's going to weave our opportunity for scattered showers and thunderstorms. We're at a level 2, and with the latest run, this includes all of the Delmarva Peninsula, which means we're watching out for scattered, short-lived storms. Now, this is where the finesse comes into play. Here's what this model is saying. Light rain at 7:30. Then look at this explosion at 9:30 over Georgetown. Now, if that holds true with the cloudy skies, that's the best case scenario because it's going to be so cloudy, we're not going to worry about rain for the rest of the day. See how Thursday moved out of the way? So our tornado threat is low, but our heavy rain threat is moderate along with wind damage and large hail, moderate chance of that because we have isolated pockets of storms. For Thursday around lunchtime, from Ocean Pines down to Pocomoke City, we have the first wave of rain. And then we have the second wave of rain. in the form of just good old-fashioned showers. Why? Because the model is saying we're going to stay gray most of the day. You see in between these showers, this is the break here. Now, if we have a break between this shower and it's clear, that's a problem, because that means we're going to get enough energy up to power those storms so they can grow tall, explode, and become a big problem. Friday, we see spotty showers in the morning, and we see a strong line coming through late Friday night. Now, this is the model that ran just before the newscast, and even my co-anchors were looking at this going, uh-oh, please say it ain't so. Let's wait and see if this model straightens up for tomorrow. I'm not going to call gloom and doom on Friday, too, but I got to watch out for Thursday. That's just sound meteorology on that, okay? So Thursday, we look at those scattered showers pushing through, then out of the way. Friday, in the most northern portion of our viewing area, we'll have the flow coming off of the ocean. But once again, if it stays cloudy, the rain stays moderate with, just a few dark greens, no yellows, no oranges, no reds, okay? Tonight, partly cloudy and a bit of drizzle. Tomorrow, first alert, stormy day, watching out for that. Friday's going to be much cooler with temperatures in the 50s for the high. Won't have as much thermodynamic energy to cause such a problem. First alert day for Thursday, morning and evening. Friday's going to be cooler and wet. Saturday's dry, but Mother's Day, unfortunately, a little bit soggy in 63.
Thank you, Paul. Dr. David Tam, the CEO of BB Healthcare, has shared his experience of suffering a stroke. According to his op-ed, he first ignored his symptoms, but then sought help at his hospital, where the stroke protocol set up led to a quick diagnosis and some treatment. Tam says he recovered fully after being observed at another hospital and returned to work. Dr. Tam wrote that he shared his story to highlight just how important it is to act fast when stroke symptoms appear, especially during National Stroke Awareness Month.
Exciting things are happening at the DuPont Nature Center in Milford. The center says red knots have been spotted for the first time this year. These remarkable migratory birds travel an incredible 18,000 miles each year from South America to the Canadian Arctic. The center says the Delaware Bay plays a really important role for their survival.
Right whales. They're known for being one of the most endangered whale species, and they have recently been spotted off the coast of Ocean City. In response, a slow zone has been established to protect these right whales, effective until May 22nd. Now, the zone requires boaters to reduce their speed to 10 knots or less when traveling through that designated area east of Ocean City.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Right now, Colonel Richardson and Stephen Decatur Baseball are both looking to reclaim the Bayside Championship. Colonel Richardson is hungry for this trophy after falling to Parkside by 1 run in the title game a year ago. This year, they're led by starting pitcher Daniel Hessen and Wake Forest commit Jordan Rogowski at shortstop. The Colonels are coming off 13 straight victories and aiming to win the conference title for the first time since 2019. On the other side, the Seahawks are on a 9-game winning streak, 16-2 overall, and led by reigning Co-Bayside South Player of the Year, Lucas Loring. Decatur has 7 shutout victories and has scored 10-plus runs in 12 different wins this season. The Seahawks won their last Bayside title 2 years ago. Watch the championship live on DSN from Purdue Stadium right now. In the softball Bayside title game today, undefeated Mardella is taking on 18-3 North Dorchester. The Warriors topped the Eagles 10-0 in April, but anything can happen in championship games, considering the Eagles are on a 5-game winning streak. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night.
This summer, pack your bags and head to Ocean City, Maryland for free family fun all summer long. Watch beach movies, build sandcastles, and gaze at colorful kites, all completely free. Bust a move from the beach to the bay with beach dance parties, Sunset Park party nights, and Sundays in the park with fireworks, all completely free. Enjoy arts and crafts, discover Ocean City's history, and be in awe of acrobatic stunts at the circus, all completely free. So get going. Family memories are waiting to be made in Ocean City, Maryland. Plan your trip now at OCOcean.com.
WRDE First Alert Weather, brought to you by Ocean City, Maryland.
This summer's temperatures keep getting hot. Luckily, Horizon Services is here to help keep you cool. Right now, get $50 off same-day AC repair. Or go ahead and upgrade that old unit and save up to $3,700 toward a new full home comfort system. Same-day service, expert technicians, and a job done right the first time. Need service today? Horizon's help is on the way.
9 years ago, we did have a roof put on by a local contractor. Unbeknownst to us, they laid shingles over shingles.
We got the call from Tracy that she had a roof leak.
Some contractors, it's not their expertise.
If you know what you're looking for with the slope of these roofs, 9 times out of 10 there's going to be damage.
Or maybe they just don't want to be bothered with the roof on a manufactured home.
I sent a design consultant out here and they spoke with her and did an inspection.
They showed us exactly what would be done. So this time I have a 50-year warranty.
Every day, Washington politicians let the border crisis continue and do nothing. They fail the American people. Open border Democrats and status quo Republicans are both to blame. We need common sense leaders with the guts to get it done.
Typical D.C. politicians play politics instead of solving the problem. As governor, we fought sanctuary cities. Enough is enough. Secure the border immediately. I'm Larry Hogan, and I approve this message. In the Senate, I'll fight to keep our communities safe.
The Subaru car has been an awesome change. It is definitely something that's reliable, safe. Gateway Subaru had what I was looking for. The dealership was just wonderful to deal with. Gateway really nailed it and you didn't feel pressured. They were more compassionate, willing to work with you. So Gateway provided me with the cross-check that I needed and I'm very comfortable with. Walked out with the keys in the car the same day and it's been running beautifully. And I love my Subaru.
Our Tyndall's casual furniture camera, we're seeing a peak of sunshine right now, but we're going to drop down to 72 by late tonight. Coastal flood advisory is in effect for Sussex, but also for Wacomico, as well as Somerset and Dorchester counties until Thursday morning. That's connected to the high tides. Now, be sure you call into our line because we're keeping you updated on this first alert day that's on the way. The number is 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a phone call away, sponsored by Baird, Mandales, Brockstedt, and Federico. Here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. Thursday is a first alert day. Watching out for stormy weather. Friday, rainy but cooler. Saturday, okay. Sunday, Mother's Day, a little soggy.
Thank you, Paul, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6.
We're going to see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 11. Have a great evening.